Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
We're going to begin here at 5 with a tornado touching down in Fenton. And now folks in the path that stretches for miles are cleaning up the damage. Glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 5. The National Weather Service confirms an EF0 tornado was on the ground last night for about 7.5 miles.
It touched down in Lake Fenton. That's just after 11:30 with winds of 65 miles an hour. Tim Pamplin is live in Fenton tonight as folks there are cleaning up, Tim.
Yeah, Kim, as you can see, workers just arriving on the scene here. This is Consuego Beach on the east side of Lake Fenton. This is where the tornado first touched down, making its way to the east, southeast towards Holly, and then I-75 where it took back up to the skies. The damage here has been done. The damage in this area is pretty significant. Take a look. The sound of chainsaws humming throughout Fenton and Holly this afternoon. The damage is clear from Drone 4. We go skyward, looking at this property along Consuego Lake we saw earlier. Neighbors say the storm came quick.
Sleeping about 11:30, the winds came through, lightning. We went and looked out the window, make sure boats were still moored, and it went crazy.
The tornado traveling about 7.5, 8 miles from Fenton to Holly, taking off roofs of barns, bringing down tree limbs and power lines. For Marcella here, she said the alert systems worked.
Got all those phone alerts and the TV was kind of screaming at us, and so we all gathered away from windows in interior of the house, and so we're just kind of waiting it out.
It was very loud, super loud, the rain, wind. It was just wind, rain, and lightning, and then didn't hear any thunder, and then the sirens came on.
Yeah, the sirens started blaring all over northern Oakland County last evening around about 11:30 midnight. Andrew Humphrey, of course, was on the air giving us these alerts, and his pinpoint accuracy on that radar showed us precisely where the rotation was right here on the east side of Lake Fenton. That is the scene right now in Fenton. Back to you guys downtown.
All right, Tim, now to the weather right now. We do have a few showers pushing through on Storm Tracker 4.
We do, so let's get over to Andrew. No severe threat tonight, though, right, Andrew?
And that is a good thing, of course. Fortunately, this weather that we're seeing right now, Kimberly and Devin, not as strong or severe as last night. Just your run-of-the-mill showers that are occurring, but you still always want to be careful whenever it's raining and the roads get a bit wet. Those showers occurring right now closer to the I-69 corridor northward into the Thumb. As you can see here, right around Yale, you got some pretty good downpours here also in red. Also out toward Goodland, also Attica, and also around Lapeer itself, out back toward Otisville and parts of Genesee County also. These stay in the northern zone, in our north zone, as we go through these next couple of hours. Then fade away and move away shortly after dinner time, and we're in for calmer conditions for tonight. Currently, it's 82 degrees, rather warm across much of southeast Michigan, especially when you add in the sunshine. We've got partly sunny skies here in downtown Detroit, wind at 13 miles per hour. We see temperatures go from the 80s into the 70s, so we're looking at mild conditions as we go through the night, partly to mostly cloudy skies, showers to our north for the evening, and then they fade away. Now it gets cooler tonight, temperatures in the 50s and low 60s, but more rain is on the way for tomorrow. It could impact Wednesday morning's commute. More on that and your full 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, Andrew. The January 6th committee held hearing number 7 today, focused on far-right groups that led the attack on the Capitol.
And that included highly anticipated testimony from Trump White House counsel Pat Cipollone was also shown. Susan McGinnis has a full wrap-up from Capitol Hill.
Well, today the committee portraying a president going to extreme means to overturn the election and failing at another solution unleashed a violent mob on the Capitol. The January 6th committee today focused on Donald Trump's desperate effort to hold on to power after losing the election.
You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
The committee highlighting a mid-December meeting convened by Trump with attorney Rudy Giuliani and others.
The meeting has been called unhinged, not normal, in the craziest meeting of the Trump presidency.
At that meeting, strategies for Trump to remain in office were discussed, including having the military seize voting machines, an idea rejected by Attorney General Bill Barr.
I said absolutely not. There's no probable cause, and I'm not going to seize any machines.
Failing at solutions, Trump in the overnight hours sends his infamous December 19th tweet calling on supporters to come to D.C. January 6th, the day Biden's win was to be certified, tweeting, "Will be wild."
The time for action is now.
His supporters heeding that call. And on that day, Trump, knowing groups including the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers came heavily armed, ordered metal detectors removed and directed them to the Capitol.
You'll never take back our country with weakness.
The committee seeking to establish possible early coordination between the groups and Donald Trump and his allies. Also today, videotaped testimony from Trump White House counsel Pat Cipollone.
Did I believe he should concede the election at a point in time? Yes, I did.
The committee making the case the president knew he lost, but convinced millions of Americans he won.
They put their faith and their trust in Donald Trump. They wanted to believe in him. They wanted to fight for their country, and he deceived them.
The committee looking to connect the dots between a president determined to overturn an election, engaging in a scheme to achieve it that culminated in a violent mob attacking America's democracy.
And there is at least one more hearing to go. The committee says sometime next week it will focus on the more than 3 hours during which Donald Trump refused to stop the violence. In Washington, Susan McGinnis, Local 4.
All right, Susan, and in what could be a very consequential development, at the end of today's hearing, Representative Liz Cheney said President Trump tried to contact a witness in the investigation, and she says that information has been passed along to the Department of Justice. We now have the funeral arrangements for Officer Lauren Courts, the Detroit police officer killed in the line of duty last week. It's going to take place at Greater Grace Temple in Detroit. Public visitation will be this Saturday from noon to 8 p.m. and then again Sunday from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. The funeral will then be held the next day, Monday, July 18th at 11:30 in the morning.
Stefan Hodo hasn't been seen in weeks. The retired Detroit police officer has been missing ever since his car and his assault rifle were used by somebody else in multiple crimes. Sean Lay is live tonight with what his family and Detroit police have to say as this search stretches on here. Sean.
You can imagine, so emotional from the police and Stefan Hodo's family members. We're hearing from them for the first time. We're also learning some new clues here. We're here live on Detroit's east side, but Stefan Hodo went missing from Detroit's west side. However, we're learning tonight his car, black Lexus, was seen over here on the east side as his family and police continue to look for him and look for some important answers.
For the last 2 weeks, the Detroit Police Department's Homicide Missing Persons has been looking for our brother in blue.
Where is Stefan Hodo? His family is desperate to know. Hodo is a retired Detroit police officer missing now since at least June 30th.
And if anyone knows anything or has seen him, I just ask that you come forward and call Crime Stoppers. We love him and we miss him. And I just wish somebody would come forward. Thank you.
Here are the bizarre and scary details. June 30th, 13 days ago, a man caught on camera firing shots into a Detroit home, not once, but twice. Police say he was using a weapon that belongs to Hodo. The gunman was also driving the retired police officer's car. Police say there were signs of a struggle at Hodo's home, but no sign of the retired officer for nearly 2 weeks now. All right, back here live. More about Stefan Hodo's car. It's a 2007 black Lexus. Again, the man with his weapon firing into that home was driving Stefan Hodo's car. And police tonight are saying if you saw the car before June 30th, that's important, on the east or west side, they definitely want to hear from you. They were speaking out through Crime Stoppers today, so a $2,500 cash reward now being offered. And Kimberly, you can tell just by the emotion in the voices from the police and from family, they are desperate for a tip. They need something to help with this case.
They absolutely do, Sean. I want to ask you before you go, there's a man in custody in the shootings. Is there any update that you know of on that?
Yeah, the man in the video. He was picked up right away by DPD. His case still being investigated. They know he's a neighbor of Stefan Hodo. They don't know if there's any connection between the two, however. They're still trying to put those pieces together, meaning they are now more than ever really hoping someone picks up the phone and gives them the tip they need. No one has to give their name ever. Back to you.
Indeed. All right, Sean, thank you. The city of Detroit is opening the first licenses for marijuana businesses.
Yeah, today the city council voted unanimously to approve the first phase for retail businesses and lounges. The applications will be reviewed by an independent third party. 60 licenses now available in this first phase. The application window opens August 1st. It closes August 31st. So a month to get the applications in. You can find information at the homepage of clickondetroit.com.